Hello and welcome to another edition of Tuesdays with Liz, a disability policy for all. Today I have the great fortune to be talking to Tiffany Putt, who is the AUCD intern for this summer. Tiffany is deaf, so therefore we have an interpreter for her. So he'll be um he'll be interpreting for her. We'll be talking to Tiffany today about her life and some policy issues. So welcome. Thank you for coming in to talk with us today. The first question, and there's two parts of this question. The first part is, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? And then the next part of the question is, what is one or two policies that you think might be helpful to you and your friends?
Hello, and thanks for inviting me to this interview. First of all, I am Tiffany Putt, and I grew up in Pennsylvania, and I have a deaf family. I went to the Western Pennsylvania School for the Deaf, WPSD. I grew up there, and I decided to go to Gallaudet University for my undergraduate. I was a double major in international studies and government, and I graduated last May 2014. I decided to continue in my education, so I'm in graduate school at Gallaudet University, a double major again in public administration and international development. Now, I'm here to answer your question about policies, and I feel that the most useful to me and the general deaf community in general are two things. First would be 21 communications and video accessibility, that act. It was proposed in 2010. That act helped us, the deaf community, to get information, equal access, equal to others. The internet, typically today, the technology just outstanding, and the video streaming and video in general. And there's no captioning before that act. And this act made it required for the internet to add captioning for every video streaming on the internet. And we can see and gather information equally with others. And that's very, very important because these days, it's a daily use of different sources through the internet. Another act is ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act. That was a huge impact on me and the deaf community because it made sure that I had equal communication access. For example, two things, and having an interpreter. If I need an interpreter, one can be placed for communication access and video relay services. The video relay services, the interpreter is on the TV screen, and I'm sitting and signing, and the interpreter will relay my message to the hearing person, the hearing caller. And it's an outstanding technology for me. Another example is of ADA. It requires accessibility to alarms and having strobe lights. If there's an alarm, I can recognize it and see it, and the person like myself could react. So both those policies are very, very critical to me in the deaf community.
Thank you. It's so interesting to me that the first act that you talk about, the Technology Act, I think that's what you were saying, is
21C, Related Communications Video Accessibility Act.
21C. I'm sorry, I apologize. I have never heard of that act, so thank you. I guess it's an act that hearing people never have heard about, or at least I haven't heard about it. And I go on the internet all the time, and you never hear about that. So thank you, Tiffany. Um, the next question, the next thing I wanted to talk about is, can you teach me some words that you might think might be helpful for hearing people and the audience to learn so we can communicate with you and your friends?
Well, I think I always have 5 cool words, let's say, to start a communication with a deaf person. The first one is hello, 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 or hi, either of those two. The second would be how are you? HOWAREYOU. How are you? How's it going? How are you? The third one would be thank you. THANKYOU. Thank you. Fourth is welcome. You're welcome. Welcome. The fifth is good. 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 That means good. Thank you. Thank you.
How do you say Tiffany?
T. Letter T. And that's a sign named Tiffany. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you have any questions about this or any other policy issues, please go to the AUCD webpage and look for this week's in brief. And if you have any questions about this edition of Tuesdays with Clues, please leave them in the space below. And I look forward to talking to you next week. Thanks and have a nice day. Thank you, Justin. And